several people participate in some intersection shutdowns, some street shutdowns, and they were disrupting the community. We had several calls for service, close to probably 40 throughout the whole night, Saturday night and the Sunday morning. And the community brought it to our attention, and they're not tolerating this, nor is the council. So we just wanted to bring awareness to these vehicle takeovers, these roadway shutdowns, and we got new technology. We had the air unit out over the weekend. We're going to have multiple air units in the future, and we're coming after these vehicles. If we didn't get you that night, we're going to come at a later date when you least expect it and try to get your vehicle. We had code enforcement hearing again today where we got a $1,000 fine off of a vehicle, and we're going to hold that vehicle for 3 months. The maximum is 6 months. So we're going to continue to do this. We did more paperwork today on another vehicle that we got video of over the weekend that did some burnouts in the middle of an intersection. So we're going to come after that vehicle in the near future.
Where are we seeing this issue? Where is it at?
So this is one intersection downtown here in Louisville. This is Preston and Witherspoon. This is one intersection that's been shut down, as is this private parking lot behind you all. It's kind of, they pop up all over the place. They were in the south end, in the east end, downtown, Portland, Northwestern Parkway area, Kane Run out in the 3rd Division. So they pop up everywhere.
So this is all across the city. You're seeing scenes like this.
Yes, sir.
What common characteristics of places are people looking for to do this?
I think wherever they can get attention, wherever it's somewhat centrally located, where they have an easy out. They don't think that we're going to respond quickly. We may not know it's taking place, but we get calls, several calls, that it's taking place.
Now, how is the response? Like, what all do you guys bring when you hear, okay, at Witherspoon and Preston, we got speed racing, we got burnouts. How quickly can you get out here and who do you come?
So depending on the calls for service that we're currently dealing with, we send several resources from different divisions, and obviously the air unit overhead, and we try to come in from all different directions. We try not to box them or trap them in, but we get in the area as quick as we can, try to shut down, because it's obviously dangerous for the pedestrians that are walking in the area and people that are, trying to go about their evening on the sidewalk. When this stuff takes place, they can lose control and come on the sidewalk. So we try to come in from different angles, just utilize our lights and siren, our cameras from our cars, and we just try to escort them out of the area.
Now, the video that we saw today, especially like the northwestern Portland area, is that video from LMPD or is it social media? Like, we're seeing people getting hit, we're seeing a bump. Is that LMPD video?
So I didn't really view it just yet, unless it's the same thing you showed me. So it's probably from the air unit and then probably some social media post.
Can you touch on the dangers of, you mentioned earlier about a fatality, that was involved in the car, one of the cars that was seized. Can you touch on the issue of the dangers that are happening?
So the fatal that happened that same night was on Lexington Avenue near Grinstead. The speed limit is 35 miles per hour. We did a download on that vehicle with a search warrant, and that vehicle was going 100 miles per hour 5 seconds before the collision. So that driver lived, and unfortunately one of his passengers passed away. So that vehicle, like I said, was close to 3 times the posted speed limit. And that was a high-performance vehicle that earlier in the night, we think we have video of it driving at a high rate of speed earlier in the night. And unfortunately, as the night progressed, this operator lost control of the vehicle and killed one of his passengers.
And under this new ordinance, some of those charges, like that driver might face, can be upgraded? Is that something you can talk about?
Correct. I mean, if somebody gets hurt or injured, in some of these videos we're seeing the cars losing control and pedestrians are getting struck, bumped with the car, if you will. Some of them are getting knocked down. So that's obviously can be an assault, one endangerment for the people that are standing around that the car brushes near. So there are criminal cases that we can make off these, correct.
Now, about the ordinance, you obviously a lot of cars will flee the second they see police lights. What happens next? How do you track these guys down?
Like I said, we're using some technology that I don't want to elaborate too much on, but there's a car today that the people don't know that we're coming for it, and I've done the paperwork on it today. So just because we don't get you that night, we're still looking for you all. Some of these vehicles stand out. They have different markings on them, different stickers and stuff on them. So even if they, don't have a good plate or are using one of these bogus temp tags that people use, we can still track the vehicles down. We can use our 574 LMPD anonymous tip line. If you know some of these participants, we would like to hear from you and, come after these people at a later date where it's a little bit safer and it's not dark. We can come track them down at a different location.
We're right by Slugger Field, office buildings, a highway.
Residents.
Yeah, exactly. What goes through your mind when you drive up to an intersection, think about all the people that walk under that bridge to get to waterfront park and see just flat?
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm also thinking about the people that come from out of town that drive through here and they're wondering, what goes on at this intersection overnight. What kind of city is this that allows this? But, we're just here to say that, with my partners here, we're not allowing it. We're doing our best to, curtail this. A lot of the major cities are experiencing this right now, but we're trying to put a stop to it here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the cars that are behind you right now?
So these are some of our traffic unit vehicles. These are probably about 1/4 of what we have, but these are the ones that are just available in the short time. At least, I think 3 of the 4 are actually seized vehicles. So we could utilize some vehicles that, we're blessed enough to seize and utilize them for our purposes.
So far, this ordinance has been in effect for several months now. How many cars in that time have you been able to seize?
So it started in November of 22. We had the winter. And then in early spring, where we got that warm spell, we had a big outbreak of out-of-state people coming. We've seized approximately 35 vehicles so far, and the vast majority of them have paid a fee or fine to get out of the tow lot, and some of them are still sitting over there today.
Now, if you do seize a car, though, they can't, even if they pay the fine or whatever, they still got to wait that amount of time before they get their car out.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Some of them we make deals with and we release them, but majority of them are still sitting.
Is there any weekend in particular or time period that stands out for a spike? You talked about when the warmer weather hit. Was Derby weekend bad? Was anything like that?
So we had a lot of information that Derby weekend was going to be bad, and I think it was not bad, and I think it's because a couple weeks leading up to that, we were out in force on the weekends stopping people. We shored up the ordinance, prior to Derby weekend, so I think that helped. Getting the word out through you all, I think, helped. But Derby weekend, we had some intel that it was going to be bad, and luckily it was not.
So your tow lot is full. Do you have room for all these cars?
So actually, the tow lot just did an amnesty program, I think, a couple of days ago and released 80-something vehicles. So there's definitely plenty of room now.
That's all the questions I have. Anybody else? Especially, I'm wondering, can we hear about the video specifically? Can we talk about something?
That's his decision. Is it okay that Ron talks about the air camp video?
That's fine.
Is that okay? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, talk
So what
specifically.
What about the video? I did see it.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, so what about it? Well, what would you ask about it?
Oh, just about specifically like what we're seeing, like in some of those clips where you can see the helicopter flying above, especially like.
Okay, I'll pull this thing off.
Sorry.
So I did, see the video last night, but I didn't see the finished version today. So if it's pretty much the same, then
Yeah. You follow them to the south.
yeah. So we ready?
So that happened last weekend, right? The Portland Northwestern, that happened last weekend.
Correct.
And any of those cars in that video, have those been seized yet, or are you still looking for them?
We're looking for a couple of them, but at least one of them was seized. So the air unit was overhead, and they followed the vehicle safely till it got stopped, and the occupants exited the vehicle. So there was no chance of a pursuit or having us having to block it in or anything. So when they exited the vehicle, we approached the vehicle then, and we towed that vehicle, and it's currently under hold.
And that's in the West End, obviously. This is downtown, but this is not just a downtown in the West End.
Correct, it's not. Kane Run, the 3rd Division, so that's South End. And we're out Bargetown Road, Preston Highway area.
Your motor is getting caught up and what's the best advice that
turn your car off, turn your headlights off, and wait. Unfortunately, you can try to make a U-turn, but traffic's usually gridlocked in all directions, and you want to be careful making U-turns. What drew our attention to this months ago, back in I think it was March, there was a shutdown on Broadway around 18th Street, and 2 EMSs got stuck in that congestion. So luckily, they were not on runs or had patients on board. But that's one thing that drew our attention to the dangers of this.
Yeah, and I know, Ron, I think you were talking about during Derby weekend last year, you were trying to get to a wreck that happened and you couldn't get through. I mean, how often does this happen where street racing shuts down where EMS can save somebody's life?
Yeah, I mean, luckily not terribly often, but it is consideration we have to take in and get there quickly to shut this down, this illegal activity down.
I have one more question. So you made that comment about how you saw them exit the car and you were able to get that car. And if they don't come claim the car, what happens next? Would you still get those what happens?
So it's an expensive vehicle, so people are coming to claim it. They want to pay the $1,000 to get their car back. That's pocket change to some people. So they are looking to get their car back. But there are times that people abandon their cars. Like if we do keep them for 6 months and they don't want to keep paying their note on it, then I guess it gets the repo guys come down and the bank comes looking for it.
I was just trying to figure out if they decided that, I don't want this to come back on me.
Mm-hmm.
They leave their car so that they don't get that key.
No, so they were milling about around the car, so we knew who they were. The air unit spotted them for us, so we knew who they were.
Anybody have anything else?
Oh, thank you all very much.
There's they all winners. But here's the other thing. We are going after the most of the customers. So the ones that we're seizing